Sorry about this. Um, Welcome to Upstate. So here's a problem. I didn't realize that my mic was muted when recording this. So I am currently doing a voiceover of going to beat Hop. It's been like a few weeks since recording this. So, yeah. I'm now voicing over past footage. Not past, well, technically past footage because it was all recorded today, and I decided to also edit today because, you know, making myself busy on Monday. Because currently it is the 25th, and I only had, up to episode 7 set, so I basically was set for a week where I didn't need to worry about the videos, but I like to keep things in advance so that I can keep pushing out videos for you guys to enjoy. But no, right now, here is where I'm just beating the crap out of Hop. Which, it's not too bad. But it does make me laugh that I tend to force him to use Corvusquire when he usually uses Corvusquire last. But yeah. Parmigiano does real good against Burb. So it's gonna be fun to hopefully get this synced up. I really do hope I can get the audio synced up. I think I'm probably gonna end up I'm gonna have to sync the end, not the beginning, because the beginning technically it has some dead air. Thanks to me not being able to hit spacebar because I wasn't tabbed in to my video editor. Which you guys may actually be able to figure out what video editor to use, but at the same time it's extremely hard because I think a lot of video editors use spacebar. Yeah, now we can finally actually take care of Thwacky with Fausto instead of having to pray that Brassica does enough damage. But you know, that's life. Also, the unnecessary. I think I got rid of that. I'm not paying attention to my own video. Congratulations, me. And then we have Madre level up to 22, which is great for what gym we're going to next. And Matilda and Soul level up just out of being in the party. Because, you know, having extra fodder in the party is nice. Because unfortunately I don't plan on using those Pokemon. And then Hop goes to run off to go fight the Aqua gym leader. And yeah, here's the rest of the bridge. Because we were fighting like in the middle of a bridge. And then here's the scripted Pokemon that just comes floating by. Funny enough, if you wait there long enough, you could actually watch that Pokemon despawn and like go off into the wild area. It doesn't really despawn, it just floats off into the wild area. Volvo, this is an item that if you're hit by a water attack, your special attack is increased. When I first was reading that, I kind of confused myself. Mainly because I thought I got it mixed up with an item that would increase one of your stats if you had grassy terrain up. But no, that's much later on. And then here's Prole using Notice Frozen, and I'm like, oh, yeah, trainers can use healing items, right? But it doesn't matter, because Prole is too strong. And then there's a Woobat. That's gonna get nuked. Because it's part Psychic type. I may or may not know about Pokemon a little bit too much. But yes, because I'm also doing this voiceover, this is after editing. So I actually know the actual length of the video versus knowing I'm gonna have to do some editing at some point. But no, when I looked at her model, it reminded myself that I had to mention that in the wild area you can find a Pokemon breeder if you have 0. Again, that was me opening the menu to go showcase it, but that was irk. Even when doing post commentary, I'm shit at talking. English is a hard language. That's why we're playing the game in Italian, to make it even harder on us, because we don't know Italian. Oh yeah, and then here, I do end up switching out to Slowpoke because, well, Matilda, because of quad weakness. Either way, back to what I was saying, if you do find a Pokemon breeder in a wild area, if you have 0 to 2 badges, their team will consist of Scorbunny, I already forgot the first evolution of Thwackey. Good job, me. And Sobble. They will have the first evolution of all the starters. If you have gym badge of 3 and above, it will be Thwackey, Raboot, and Drizzle. And if you have beaten Leon or Dandel in this version, he will have the final evolutions of the starters. She will have the final evolutions. Or he, because you know it is 2021. Just because you were born one gender doesn't mean you have to be known for that, be referred to as that gender. But yeah. And here is Keelford, which is a different name than it is in English. Because I remember okay, hold on. I can't remember the name of what it is in English. Holbury is the English name for it. And hull and keel are all parts of a ship, which I found interesting. I didn't mention that the last time I played that, but no, this is just we just watched Olive, not Olivia, just Olive. Just Olive. She'll weigh some people that were fans of Chairman Rose, and then being endorsed by the chairman, had spoken to him for a little bit, and then here's the Chairman Rose just like saying hello. If you basically being like, hey, if you beat the gym leader Azzurra, come meet us in the restaurant and we'll have a talk. Also, one thing I didn't really mention here either is the fact that it looks like he's wearing underwear. He's just not wearing pants. He just has underwear. From what I've heard, is apparently that can be a normal thing to just wear shorts like that in Britain, which is what this region is based off of. I at some point confused myself and thought that this was based off of Scotland for a time, but then I recorrected myself and I'm like, oh yeah, the Big Ben is in this game. And I very much confused myself. Oh yeah, hidden item at the broken fence. And then at the corner, you get another item. Which I do immediately just give to Parmigiano. After checking these things. But yeah. Between these recordings, because I did make 3 recordings and at least only 2 of them don't have a mic checked. Oh yeah, here's me checking what that was. So I didn't edit that out, fair enough. The rest of this it's only episode 8 and 9 that are gonna need voiceovers. Everything else is fine, and now I just am gonna be paranoid with checking things. But no, this is now me just checking houses because I couldn't remember if there was anyone that gave me anything. But you do get a lot of, like, you can learn a lot by just going into, barging into people's houses and just talking to them. Sometimes they can give you items, or sometimes they'll challenge you to a Pokemon battle and then give you items. Or sometimes they'll just challenge you to a Pokemon battle and give you nothing. I haven't actually seen that yet in this game, if I remember correctly. And then I almost ran past a Cura Total, which is a full heal, or total heal, or total cure, which I think is what the Italian version is translated from. And then this person's just talking about like how you can never tell the difference between a male and a female wooper, which is true. There really isn't a tell for between what is a male and what is a female wooper. Some Pokemon have gender differences, others don't. Pikachu is a prime example of a gender difference because if you look at their tail, if a tail is in the shape of a heart, it's female. But yeah, there's a Fisher lady over at the gym entrance stopping you because Azzurra is currently not in the gym, but you do have to find her. And I very much struggle trying to get those Reta balls. And then here's some spots you can fish if you want to get like Barracuda looking Pokemon. You get 2 Super Fusions. And then there's Azzurra, but I don't talk to her first, because behind here you get Electrotella, which is Electro Web. And the reason why I know about it is because I forgot to check down here on my first playthrough and on my like third playthrough. I found it and then had to go back to my first playthrough to grab it again. Just because of my OCD. She gives us our lead card, which we could read to get information about her, but unfortunately, I'm not good at reading Italian. And then there's a statues of what Toxel's evolution is. Toxicity in Loki and amped form. Which is nice that they show you those 2 forms, and the forms are based off of nature. Not attack or special attack, because that's a different Pokemon. Oh yeah, and of course you always talk to Ball Guy. You never not talk to Ball Guy. Because you always get Pokeballs from him. And he's great. And then off we go to the gym challenge. Because this gym challenge is, I would probably say, out of all the challenges I've seen so far, it's the most old school version of like how gyms are set up in games. Where you have to like press switches to try and build your path forward. But yeah, even though I explained it back then, I'll still explain it here. How this gym functions is you have red, blue, and yellow pipes. if you press a yellow button, all the yellow pipes that are off turn on, and all the ones that are on turn off. And that's the same if you press a red button and the blue button. So our goal is, as you can tell because it's mainly a blue, we just have to go get, like, at least press the blue button, and that is essentially how we're supposed to. That's how we get through, but we don't know where the blue button is quite yet. It's just a matter of going through this entire area. So we're just going to use Parmigiano for the majority of this gym. Because that is how good Parmigiano is. Even when he's not fully evolved. Because he's a good boy. Well, she's a good boy. I kept on saying he because Parmigiano is end. Fuck. God damn it, lives. He will have. I know he's not gonna have like any idea of why I just said that. But I think he'll end up realizing why I said that. Regardless, we don't press the red button there because that is going to block our way. We had to press the yellow button and then turn around and press the red button so we could go forward. But of course, we have to fight this trainer who is in the way. Who has a Krabby? Oh yeah, and then the immediate paralysis, which is great, because then he doesn't actually attack. Well, she doesn't actually attack. Oh! Yeah. I also found it kind of funny that, like, a lot of times their attacks missed, but, the reason why their attacks are missing is it's not a 100% accurate move that they're using. It really isn't. I do get hit by one of them, which is what made me figure out what move it was. And the move was actually a whirlpool. So like throughout the majority of this, I was about to call this place a dungeon, but this is nowhere close to a dungeon. In this gym challenge, they just tend to try and use whirlpool, and then I kind of dorp up here a little bit. I go press this button, even though it's not really the fastest way to do it. The fastest way to do it is go down the stairs, hit the yellow button, and then go hit the red button. And there is a reason for it. And yeah, Numenella, which is Whirlpool, does finally hit Scintilla. Well, not Scintilla, Scintilla's freaking Spark. And speaking of Scintilla, I finally figured out that Scintilla was not smelling salts. Because for some reason my brain said it was a normal type move. It's not a normal type move, it's an electric type move. It does 60 damage. It's freaking Spark. I don't know why my brain had gotten onto the idea that it was smelling salts. Other than the fact that I thought it was a normal type move, and apparently I was blind to that. But that makes sense for why I need glasses. But yeah. But regardless, those are all three trainers of that gym. And then I go and do a stupid right here and press this button. Because as it looks like it, you could technically go forward with that, and then once I realize what's going on, I go back and actually fix my mistake. But yeah, you're supposed to, after you get to this section, go yellow, red, blue. Because if you hit the red button first, you're not able to get out. Unless you hit the yellow button again. And then you press this button. And then you press this button, which lets you go forward, because the blue will block your path there, and that's why you need the yellow one to be pressed. And that's so that you could head forward. And complete the gym challenge. Also, don't worry about me just running straight into a freaking wall over there. I totally know how to walk in this game. But yeah, the fun little factoids that I have for Azzurra, or Nessa for the English version, is that not only is she a gym leader, but she is also a fashion star. Because she's all about that fashion. But yeah, I'm not sure about her number. My guess, the last thing I recall hearing was that I think it's based off of the Galarian Pokedex entry for Dreadnought. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. As I said, I can't remember. As I say, I can't remember numbers, unfortunately. It's only Milo or Yarrow that I can remember the number for. So unfortunately, I'm not able. Well, I can remember a few others when it comes to the numbers, but that's as far as I can go. But yeah, because it's Dreadnought, that is her main Pokemon. That she will be using here. But the other little factoid about Azzurra, or Nessa, is that her name is supposed to be based around Nessie. The legend behind, like the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, that's all the lore I know about that. Oh yeah, and then we have Matilda learn Bolt and Testa. And then because I figured out that was, Inhibitor was, Disable, I was like, I'm gonna get rid of that. Even though I don't plan on using Matilda, I'm still getting rid of it. And then here's her sending out Dreadnought, which is a water rock type. And then this was me debating on what I should do, which I decided I'm not gonna Dynamax. Just because I knew grass is because Dreadnought is quad weak to grass. And even if Madre isn't fully evolved, that quad weakness and the fact that Dreadnought is more based around physical stats than special, this really isn't a problem. Like, this is like, if you know what you're doing, you're set. Plus, as you can tell, Madrid takes like no damage from that attack. And we're already fully healed from that one attack, and then we just had to go through 2 more. And when I used Dynamax, which is, I think, based off of Bite, it does a lot more damage, so I got worried. Especially since it dropped my special defense. But then I saw how much it's healed. Plus the leftovers. Because, you know, I know what I'm doing, apparently. And then for some reason it uses Dynafuso. She uses Dynafuso again. Probably because of special attack down, or special defense down, and the rain. But it still just doesn't do enough damage. And down goes her Dreadnought, without us needing to even Dynamax. And that is the ridiculous of having a Pokemon that has like a quad weakness to something. Oh yeah, Repulsor. When all I wanted to learn now was trying to figure out what that was. Which I did end up looking up. And Repulsor is rest. I think in the recording I called it sleep, which is technically still not wrong, because you are just going to sleep to heal all your statuses, but no. It is indeed rest. Because I'm like, something per turn. And I was like, nah, I don't need to learn rest. And then Fausto also hit level 24. I wanted to learn agility, which we didn't learn agility. Because Fausto's already fast enough. Yeah, that's our second gym down. And to be honest, it really was not that bad. I made it slightly harder on myself, but at the same time, it was not harder than it really was. So there is that. And then since we beat the gym, they hand us Milanello, which is Whirlpool, which I don't bother teaching anyone because I don't normally use those moves. And then we also get the water type uniform, or the aqua uniform. And then Olive comes over and says like, hey, come meet us at the restaurant. And here's Chairman Rose's league card. Because, you know, you need all this stuff to be shoved in your face. So I just run over. And then go wait. So I'll see you guys next time.